Hello, everyone. So, very good evening. Welcome back to another session of Python interview preparation associated with 360DigiTMG. Hope you all are you got habituated to join our session daily because it has been 20 days and we could cover good amount of questions with respect to different topics in Python, which are going to definitely help you all, right? So that it would be some kind of trigger where you think that this might not be asked by the interviewer, but such questions also will pop up. So that's where we are trying to add certain questions where you people will prepare in that manner. So yesterday we had a question from our viewer about picking up the even values and the odd values from a given list from the user, right? So that question we could not explain yesterday because of our time constraints. Now today Bharat is going to do that. Bharat, please, can you start with? So to give a recap of what we have done yesterday, we were dealing with inbuilt functions where Ashutosh and Bharat were using filter and map functions. So these filter and map functions are inbuilt and you can use even in custom defined functions, right? We have added it where you can write your code using lambda, or you are using it in DEF using a DEF function also. So that's where we were covering certain questions. There we had one request from our viewers. So please continue, Bharat.
Yes, sure. We can take that viewer's question and I will show the code and we'll execute and see how the user will be able to pass the odd and part of the list and considering the odd numbers or for that matter even numbers also. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Could you please confirm?
Yes.
All right. So I am defining a function called as split even odd. All right. This is my argument. A would be my argument. And then I will say even list. This is supposed to be even list. My even list will be empty for now. Okay, it is empty only for now. And then I have a odd list as well. This is also going to be empty for now. And then I'll start a for loop. I'll say for I in my A. Then I'll start this condition. I'm saying that if I, if I divide it, I'm using a modulus. Okay, this is supposed to be I, not wow. I modulus. That means if I'm dividing I with 2 and if it is equal to 0, that is if the remainder is equal to 0, then print a list, or let's say print a list. I will print a list, even list dot append. Okay, this is going to be my even list. Now we have a if condition, right? We have one default condition. We should also have a else condition. Okay.
So when you're using an else condition, the indent is something what you have to focus.
Indentation is something we need to focus. That is right, Deepti. Correct. So we have to focus on the indentation. Since we have even list in the if condition, we'll have odd list in the else condition. If in case the condition is not getting satisfied. All right, and I would like to append I. Okay.
So for all the years, append is a function which you can apply only on list, but not on tuples.
Not on tuples.
it is available readily for list.
That is right. Let our viewers also try append function with a tuple and experience what will happen. What is the kind of a error that will throw? You can experiment, friends, always. Okay, and then I want to print. This is for the user. This is for the user to pass.
Showcase the result.
Correct. I will say even less. Okay, and then R. Here, the user will pass the even list. Okay, and then the user also gets to pass the odd list. It is going to be a lengthy code, guys. All right, and then next, what you have is, let me scroll down a little. Okay, do I have this? Yes. Now, you might think we, gave a argument, a parameter A. Now, what I do is, I will just define my A. I will say A is list of. Okay, this is my list. Okay, and then I will also pass N. N is for the user to input. I'm asking the user to input a value. Okay.
Yeah, you're asking the user to enter what should be the size of your list.
The size. Okay, I'll put size rather than number or anything. I'll make the statement very straightforward and simple for the user to understand. Right? That is the whole point of making this programming language a simple to learn. Right? I'll just mention that enter the size of the first list. I'll put it as first list because we are dealing with a couple of lists here. All right. Then I will print. I will use a print statement and I will say enter the object. Okay, object in the element in the list. I'll just mention element of the first list. All right, and then it is I think this should work. Now I will start a for loop. I'm not starting it. Anyway, I'm saying for I in range, I'm using a range function and then input that is integer of n. All right. So this is what I get to print. And then I say k is equal to n integer. I'm asking the user to pass here. All right. Okay. This I think we can make changes later as well. And this is where I append the value of k. Okay.
I think now you use your function, right?
I will, at this stage, I will use my user defined function. Okay, I'll use my split even odd function. I'll just say, I'll call the function basically.
I think Bharat, you should start. It is not on the starting line, I think.
Sorry?
You are not starting from the first line, first space. Yeah.
Yes. So here, I would like to just give a heads up that whenever you're using the notebook, if you hit enter, probably it is considering the first, space, first position, and then it is taking the second position. Or what you can do is by default, you can go one step back and then you can use it. All right. And then I want to call the function. Okay. Even before I call the function, as a habit, as something to good to know stuff, I will just go through the lines of code and I check if everything is correct, especially my indentation and all of that. And also the syntax. Okay. Once that is all correct, then I will go ahead and execute my program. Right. So let me execute this. It is first going to initialize a server, like we know.
Bharat, I guess in that line you are missing the colon in the end. For I in range, there should be a colon in the end.
Yes. Here, right?
Exactly.
That is correct. Let me execute here again.
Indentation problem, I think.
All right. Let me execute this. I'll just make it correct. See, what happens is when you're dealing with multiple lines of code, this is tend to happen. You don't have to worry about it. Let me, make it correct. I'm just checking the indentations. All right. So here is what I have. Let me make it.
I guess both of the print should be below F. It should be aligned with for.
I have made the changes. Right? It is asking for the user to pass the first list, the size of the list. Okay. So let's say my size of the list is 5. Okay. And then it will ask the user to pass the elements of my first list. Okay. Now, I have a question to my viewers. How many elements can I pass? So let's say.
Can I answer it?
This is for viewers. I want to see. Yes. Say passing 7. Okay. So you have to pass it and then execute it. Right?
5 is the answer.
That is correct.
Yeah, we have a question from our viewers that, don't we have any other way other than append, right? If at all it is a tuple, we cannot use append, right? It's only a list, we can use an we can use append.
That is right.
When you are not using a list as input, right? You need not use that.
Correct. So in the list, in the elements, it is picking the even numbers and the odd numbers from the list.
So they have a question why we did use this append function. Friends, if you see the code, Bharat, can you scroll down a little bit, please?
Yeah.
Append is something, Bharat has entered different number of elements in the list. Okay, first he had given a choice that how many numbers he want to enter. That is his wish. It is the user's interest. So user has given 5. And when he is giving that particular 5 numbers, each number it has to pick, it has to check the condition whether it is getting a reminder as 0 or 1. Then it has to append to the rest of the list. If you are using a tuple, right? Tuple is not going to take append function. So there's no question of doing that. So maybe you have to write another logic where you want to use different logics for that. So one particular requirement doesn't mean that only this is a process.
That is correct. This is the logic that I have come across and I have applied it. So it worked for me. So if any other user, any other programmer can come up with a different logic, you can always try out.
And post in our comment section so that we would cross check it and we will learn from you people.
Definitely.
That is one more logic.
And we can also discuss this in one of our sessions.
Yeah. Okay, Bharat, thank you. Yeah, now we'll start with Ashutosh. Right, Ashutosh, now there is 2 tasks again for you. Ashutosh, can you hear me?
Yeah, Dipti, I can hear you.
So first, I want you to make, now our viewers were talking about the tuples, right? So you write a Python program to sort a list of tuples, okay? Using lambda.
Okay. So even before I write this program and tell the viewers, how it is being done, it is important for them to understand that when you say sorting a list of tuples using lambda, what actually happens? So when we are saying this, that we want to sort a list of tuples using lambda, so it is enabling the creation of custom sorting orders, the sort method and the sorted function. When we talk about can sort lists into descending and ascending orders, right? It could be alphabetical, it could be numerical. So by default, it is going to do that. So am I right, Deepti?
Yes, exactly. So it is list of tuples. So you just create a tuple and you convert it into a list. And what is your approach?
I will just show you.
Yeah.
Okay, is my screen visible, guys?
Yeah, I think it would be better if you just little bit zoom it. Yeah.
So
Thank
say
you,
here, I'm defining a variable age is equal to my bad. Give me a moment. Say I want few names over here, Raju, and say I'm taking this age 18, and again I'm taking another name. For example, let me take Ramu, comma 39. Let me take money, comma 29, and let me take Abhishek.
Ashutosh, you have missed that tuple for Raju and 18, if I'm not wrong.
Just a moment.
There also you need one close parenthesis.
Yeah.
After 29.
Here it should be, no, after money should be this, and
29 you have to close the tuple.
Exactly.
And the first one also.
Yeah.
Raju. Yeah.
Okay. And here let's say the age of Abhishek is again 23. Okay. and say, I want to print for each list of tuples. I want to print age as well. And then I'm saying age dot sort E is equal to lambda x colon x. And I'm saying print / and sorting. So basically, I want this to be printed in the new line. Sorting the list of tuples. Colon should do the work over here and print it. So any guesses what it is going to print?
That's what I asked you. That was a question to you.
Okay, Raju 18, Ramu, okay, and these things look fine. Print origin,
So,
okay.
yeah, I like to add something, Ashutosh, before you get connected to Google Colab. You can run it. Yeah, it takes time, right, for connecting. So see here, friends, he has created a tuple where Raju 18, Ramu, Mani, and Abhishek's ages are given in tuple, right? And he has enclosed it into a list, right? So it is the original list of tuples there. So first it is going to print the original ages. Then see here, we have used an inbuilt function which is called as the sort function. And we are using a nameless function which is lambda.
Lambda function.
Right, anonymous function. And what is that x colon x of 1 is representing? First x and x of 1 means it is redirecting and it is going to the index 1. So you all know that Python indexing starts from 0. So Raju, Ramu, Mani, and Abhishek, these are being holded in index 0. Okay, when compared to, not compared, when you're talking about 18, 39, 29, and 23, these are your indexes that the content is stored in 1. So we are saying lambda that take the argument x of 1, which reached out to 18, 39, 29, and 23, and it will apply sort function on those elements which are in index 1. The sorted list is printed for us in print age column. Is that you have done, Ashutosh? Meanwhile,
exactly.
You have code executed.
Exactly. That is exactly what I did.
See here, Abhishek has dumped into second place. Mani is same there, and Ramu jumped to fourth place here because it is a sorting output here. So that's
Ascending
where,
order.
yeah. So that's where you are. If at all you want to do it in the descending order, friends, you can just make certain things like your reverse is equal to true. You give a bool value, that is your boolean value, true or false for this, so that it will execute in the required way. Okay. Lastly, Bharat, I would like to conclude the question with you. Right? Can we use a function within a function? Is it possible to use a function within a function?
Function within a function. Yes, Aditi, it is possible. We can do it.
Okay.
So basically what happens is you can use whatever you're saying that function within a function, we call this as a nested function or a inner function. Okay. So this nested functions are, has this particular capability of accessing the variables of the enclosing scope. Okay. There is this feasibility or feature where you can access the variables of the inner function. However, your inner functions can be used so that they can be protected. When I say protected, it is basically setting up a rule or a security within itself. Okay. which is not letting happen from the outside of the function or outside the function. You can put that way. All right.
Okay.
So that is about nested function or inner function. Okay. I will also show an example and I will define a function for that first. Let me do that. Here is my function. I will just define f1 will be my function. Okay. And then I will pass, I'll define a string. I'll just say, let me put it this way. I'll just say, I love Python program. Okay. True story. Very true. And then I will define another function. I'll keep it simple. I'll say f2. Okay. And then that here I will say print of x s. I want to print this particular function. And then here I will print f2 of or just by itself, or I can also print f1. Okay. Make the indentation correct. All right. So now if I execute, let me execute.
Bharat, I guess that F2 should be below the
That
second
is right.
DEF.
No. I am first. I have to execute. We also have something called as inner function, right? Let me make that. I will just pass the inner function as well.
And by the way, your love for Python programming is making me, enforced to now call you with the nickname of Guido Vendrosama. Should I do that?
Thank you.
Bharat, the indentation is showing you an error. So that DEF first DEF should be F1, second DEF should be F2 if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that is right.
Okay.
So this function is called as the drivers function.
Okay.
Okay. So here we see that there is a function. Within that, there is also another function. That way you can still get away with the inner functions or nested functions.
Okay, so it is printing the S, so it is called as a nested function.
That's good.
So, okay. So we can also use special arguments, like, we have seen that there are non-keyword arguments and keyword arguments which can be used in functions. You have a special syntax, like you use an asterisk sign to take in the variable number, different number of arguments, and it can also be used with your word arguments. Okay, so whenever you want to multiply a function that takes any number of arguments, right, you should be able to multiply all of them together. So when you want to do certain things, you just say star args. It means that it should continue and it should print the n number of arguments you are giving. So suppose if I define my function and I give a star args, right, asterisk args, so what will happen? For every word you are writing in my function, right, maybe you can say hello, welcome, to 360, right, Python session. These are different arguments you can pass for your my function if you use asterisk. So what is happening here is you are free to define your own functions. You are free to run your own functions, right? So which will help you. It's like custom, it's our own logics we want to write. So there is nothing like one particular route or one particular path to write or define any function. Okay, so that's it for today, friends, and we are going to stop here. So thank you all for joining in once again, and as usual, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
Comment on our channel, comment on the questions, and also please respond to the questions that are posted through your comments in our live feed. All right. Also, please click on the bell icon to get the notification on a regular basis and on these live sessions. All right. Share it with your friends and colleagues. Also share it with your boss, manager, and let them know that you're upskilling yourself and you're preparing for your interviews.
Thank you, guys. See you
Thank you,
guys
everyone.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah. Happy learning, friends.